A shrill voice sliced through the vaulted lobby of the Sapphire Crown Hotel in downtown Chicago. "Yes, operator. I need police at once. There's an African-American boy loitering in reception with a stolen credit card." The words fell from Brandon Lee's mouth so matter-of-factly, so confidently, that no one within earshot doubted he believed them. Brandon, blonde, sharp-jawed, freshly promoted to senior receptionist, glanced toward the boy standing alone beneath a chandelier. The kid couldn't have been more than 12, yet Brandon's blue eyes held only suspicion. Across the polished floor, Rebecca Hall, the hotel's general manager, strode in her navy pencil skirt. Her heels clicked, echoing off marble and glass. "What's the emergency?" she demanded, adjusting the pearl pin at her collar without once looking at the boy himself. Brandon covered the phone's mouthpiece. "That kid is trying to charge food to a platinum card that obviously isn't his. Says his dad's some hotshot CEO." Rebecca's gaze flicked, frost-cold, toward the boy. "We don't tolerate scams, Brandon. Keep him contained. I'll handle the authorities." The boy, Jamal Carter, clutched the silver card in trembling fingers. "I'm not stealing. My dad said I could order lunch. He's up in a meeting." His voice cracked, neither childlike nor grown, hanging in the awkward middle. "Sure he is," Brandon sneered, replacing the phone on its cradle after giving the operator the hotel's address. "Room number?" Jamal swallowed. 4210. "He's with Mr. Chun, the owner." Brandon's eyebrows rose theatrically. 4210 is a penthouse boardroom. "Nice try, kid." Jamal's shoulders sagged. Not because he doubted himself, but because he recognized the wall of disbelief rising around him brick by brick. The sapphire-tinted skylight above them turned midday sun into watery beams, and he felt as though he were drowning under them. 10 stories above, in that very boardroom, Darius Carter was indeed in conference with Victor Chun. Darius, tall, broad-shouldered, skinned the rich brown of polished walnut, wore a charcoal suit that cost more than Brandon earned in 3 months. He was CEO of Carter Urban Resorts, a conglomerate of 180 boutique hotels. Chun had asked him to consider buying the failing Sapphire Crown. Darius was interested, but something tingled at the back of his mind, a father's intuition prodding him to check on Jamal sooner than planned. Back in the lobby, Jamal tried one last time. "You can call my dad. He'll explain." Rebecca's lips parted in a frosty smile. "Sweetheart, con artists always say that. Why don't you sit over there until the officers arrive?" She gestured to a velvet settee, as though offering kindness instead of confinement. A handful of guests slowed, curiosity piqued. A gray-haired doorman named Harold shifted uneasily at his post. He'd watched Jamal's politeness from the start. Watched him say please and thank you. Watched him wait patiently rather than storm off. Harold opened his mouth to vouch for the boy, then shut it again, remembering a supervisor's warning. "Stay out of conflict if you value your pension." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Brandon's grin stiffened with satisfaction, evidence arriving in blue uniforms. 3 officers pushed through the revolving doors. The leading cop, Sergeant Karen O'Donnell, flame-haired and notoriously uncompromising, swept the lobby with hawk eyes. Beside her, rookie officer Malik Turner, African-American, tall, and visibly nervous, kept a hand loosely on his belt. Trailing them was Officer Jake Whitmore, whose smirk said he'd seen this all before and found it dull. "Where's our suspect?" O'Donnell barked. Brandon jabbed a finger. "Over there. Attempted credit card fraud. Possibly aggressive. Possibly." Whitmore repeated, raising one brow. "Won't surrender the card," Rebecca added, arms folded. Jamal's knees shook. "Please. It's my dad's." He extended the card toward O'Donnell, as though offering a fragile peace treaty. Whitmore snatched it, scanned the embossed name, Darius L. Carter. "Kids these days," he muttered. "Whole urban legends of fake rich daddies." Turner frowned. "Maybe we should phone the owner on the card." O'Donnell cut him off. "Procedure first. Kid ID." Jamal produced nothing. "Of course not. He was 12. O'Donnell's sigh rattled. "Cuff him till we verify." Turner hesitated. Handcuff a child? Yet O'Donnell had seniority. Whitmore spun the cuffs with practiced flair. Across the lobby, Harold's restraint snapped. "Officers, the boy hasn't done a thing." He waited polite as a prince. O'Donnell glared. "Sir, step back." Whitmore gripped Jamal's wrists. Metal met skin. Gasps fluttered among onlookers. A couple filming on smartphones edged closer, their screens reflecting the scene's raw inequity. The elevator chimed. Darius Carter strode out, mid-sentence to Victor Chun, who followed. He stopped cold. His son, handcuffed, cheeks wet, surrounded by cops. The world telescoped. For half a heartbeat, No one breathed. Jamal's cry shattered the silence. Dad, Whitmore whirled. O'Donnell's eyes narrowed at Darius's tailored suit, the authority radiating off him like heat. Chun, flustered, blurted, Sergeant, this is Mr. Carter, the prospective buyer of. But Darius was already at Jamal's side. Remove those cuffs. Now. O'Donnell squared her shoulders. Sir, do you have proof of guardianship? Darius's laugh was low, dangerous. My genetic proof is sobbing in front of you. That card you're clutching pays your department's hotel conference bills annually. Rebecca stepped forward, voice thawing to honey. Mr. Carter, there's been a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding implies good faith, Darius said, without looking at her. I see none. O'Donnell eyed the card again, then Darius's ID. Something clicked behind her gaze. Turner looked mortified. Whitmore's smirk vanished. They fumbled the cuffs open. Jamal folded into his father's embrace, breath shuddering. Chun cleared his throat. Mr. Carter, I assure you Sapphire Crown values diversity. Darius raised one hand. Silence fell as if commanded by a conductor's baton. Sergeant, badge numbers. Manager, receptionist, full names. I'll need them for my report. Rebecca's complexion faded winter white. Brandon's jaw slackened. O'Donnell recited digits with clipped resignation. Whitmore followed suit. Turner whispered his, apologetic. Darius addressed the watching guests, voice resonant. What you witnessed is not a boy's mistake. It's an institution's. And institutions learn through consequence. He turned to Jamal. You okay, champ? Jamal nodded, though tears glimmered. He straightened, drawing courage from his father's steadiness. What followed over the next 2 hours rippled far beyond the lobby. Chin summoned a crisis meeting. O'Donnell phoned her captain, who, after hearing Darius's name and the word buyer, arrived in under 10 minutes, face flushed with the heat of potential scandal. Brandon and Rebecca stood by, nerves fraying like rope on a winch. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments box. During the wait, an unexpected witness emerged. A teenage hotel intern named Sofia Alvarez, Latina, camera savvy. From behind the concierge desk, she had live-streamed the entire arrest to her modest social media following. By the time the captain walked in, the video was pinging across Twitter, each retweet stoking moral outrage. Darius sat with Jamal at a lounge table, offering water and calm words, while Chun whispered apologies. When the captain, a burly man named McBride, attempted to lead Darius to a private office, Darius declined. Transparency matters, he said, voice carrying. We'll speak here, where the harm occurred. McBride's eyes flicked to the cluster of spectators. Very well. He faced O'Donnell. Status. Potential fraud, sir. We detained. Detained without verification. Turner interrupted softly. McBride's gaze hardened. Sergeant, why was verification skipped? O'Donnell flushed. She began referencing policy. McBride cut her off. Sergeant, hand over your badge and sidearm. Gasps. Whitmore stepped back, as though badges were contagious. Turner stared at the floor. Rebecca Hall tried salvaging authority. Captain, our staff followed safety protocols. Darius rose, projecting calm that reverberated like thunder. Your staff followed prejudice. He turned to Brandon. Tell me, Mr. Lee, what made you decide my son's card was stolen? Brandon stammered. It's rare, children, platinum. Or was it rare seeing black children hold them? Darius asked. Brandon's silence incriminated louder than any confession. Chun laced trembling fingers. Mr. Carter, I intend to terminate the employees responsible. Darius tilted his head. Terminating them teaches little. Transformation teaches lots. His gaze swept Brandon and Rebecca. But transformation requires humility, and humility begins with truth. Do you acknowledge your bias today? Rebecca's chin lifted in fragile defiance, then cracked. Yes, she whispered. Tears formed in corners she'd kept dry for executives, but not for this. Brandon's shoulders slumped. I thought I was protecting the hotel. Fear masquerading as professionalism, Darius said. It's a common costume. He turned back to Chun. Victor, if the sale proceeds, the first initiative under Carter Urban Resorts will be a scholarship fund in my son's name, open to local youths in hospitality studies. Second, mandatory equity training for every employee, starting at the top. Third, a panel, including community leaders, to review guest service complaints quarterly. Chin nodded vigorously. All of it, yes. McBride cleared his throat. Mr. Carter, regarding my officers. Sergeant O'Donnell's badge is already surrendered, Darius said. Officers Whitmore and Turner? Turner tried to speak. He stays. Whitmore's conduct. Well, the live stream speaks for itself. Whitmore's mouth parted, but no words emerged. Jamal tugged his father's sleeve. Dad, Darius knelt. Yeah, buddy. Can we give people second chances, like you always say? Even the mean ones. The lobby felt even quieter. Darius looked into his son's wide, searching eyes and smiled. Second chances must be earned. But yes, they exist. He faced Brandon, Rebecca, and even Whitmore. My son is braver than most grown-ups. Should any of you choose the hard path of change, applications to Carter Urban's redemption program open next month. Community service, training, mentorship. Completion earns consideration for rehire. Guests murmured, surprise blended with respect. Even O'Donnell, humiliated, raised red-rimmed eyes. Eyes that suddenly looked less sure of historic certainties. The story might have ended there, a neat bow around justice. But stories, like rivers, carve onward. That evening Sophia's livestream hit 1 million views. Hashtag Jamal deserves credit trended worldwide. Morning talk shows replayed the handcuffed boy and the father's poised fury. News vans clogged the Sapphire Crown's circular drive. Drone cameras zipped above its marquee. Darius appeared alongside Jamal on Good Morning America, calmly recounting events and calling for systemic reform. His closing line, bias is a blindfold, transparency is the knife, ricocheted across cable news tickers. The Chicago Police Board launched an immediate review of juvenile detainment procedures. Sergeant O'Donnell resigned before disciplinary hearings began. Whitmore was suspended. Turner, praised for attempting to verify the card, was reassigned to the Community Relations Division, where he requested to mentor cadets on implicit bias. Within Carter Urban Resorts, Darius's redemption initiative took shape fast. Former employees of the Sapphire Crown entered the pilot cohort. Brandon, Rebecca, and yes, Whitmore, each committing to 6 months of workshops, volunteering at Southside Youth Centers, and reflective journaling supervised by licensed counselors. Progress would be public, successes celebrated, failures, too. Darius believed accountability without transparency was theater. For Jamal, life twisted in unexpected ways. At school, classmates who once teased his fascination with business podcasts now asked for advice on startup ideas. He began a vlog, Boardroom Boys, teaching financial literacy in kid-friendly language. His first episode, How Not to Judge a Book by Its Credit Card, hit 50,000 views overnight. Yet trauma lingers like a bruise beneath the skin. One night, Jamal jolted awake from a dream of handcuffs clinking closed. Darius sat beside him, voice low. Healing's a journey, son. We'll walk it together. They talked until Dawn's pale fingers touched the blinds. 3 months later, the sale finalized. The Sapphire Crown reopened under its new banner, the Indigo Crown by Carter Urban. Mauve uplighting accented pillars, a mural of Chicago's diverse faces sprawled across the lobby ceiling. At the grand reopening gala, Jamal, sporting a crisp navy blazer, cut the ribbon alongside his father and Victor Chun. Brandon, slimmer after weekends lugging food bank crates, greeted guests at the new welcome desk, sincerity eclipsing former smugness. Rebecca, who had spent Saturday mornings tutoring English to refugee women, served as director of guest experience, after passing her redemption program with high commendation for empathy. Whitmore attended the gala in civilian clothes, a year into night classes for social work. When he quietly thanked Jamal for saving him from himself, the boy offered a handshake and kept eye contact longer than most adults manage. Television crews captured it all. Commentators marveled, a scandal-turned-case study in restorative justice. Not everyone approved. Some viewers found Darius too lenient. Others said he exploited the moment for branding. He accepted criticism with the same calm he'd shown in the lobby. Transformation is messy, he told a journalist. So is painting a masterpiece. The Indigo Crown's occupancy soared. Guests booked rooms not just for the lake views, but to support its mission. A placard beside the front desk orchids read, "Every guest deserves belief." Another near the elevators quoted Jamal. "Courage is telling the truth even when no one listens." At first. 6 months on, the scholarship fund had financed tuition for 20 local high school seniors entering hospitality programs. In April, Jamal stood on stage at a citywide youth summit, telling hundreds of peers, "You're more than the assumptions others stick on you. Peel them off. Show the world your own label." The applause thundered long after he exited the spotlight. Darius watched from the wings, pride weighty enough to anchor him, yet buoyant enough to lift. He recalled that lobby moment, the sound of cuffs, the hush before his fury. Pain forged a key. With it, father and son unlocked rooms of possibility neither had imagined. One rainy summer morning, Jamal asked, "Dad, do you ever wish none of it happened?" Darius considered. "I wish you never felt that fear. But change rarely blooms in perfect conditions. What matters is what we grow from the storm." Thunder growled across the lake, gray clouds swirling like ink in water. Yet somewhere beyond them, sunlight waited. In the lobby below, Brandon welcomed a family fresh off a red-eye, offering warm towels and warmer smiles. Rebecca guided a trainee through check-in, reminding her gently to look each guest in the eye and assume the best. Whitmore, clipboard in hand, led a group of cadets on a tour, his first lecture, humility. And on a glass mezzanine overlooking it all, Jamal sketched business ideas in a leather notebook: sustainable bath products, neighborhood art residencies, virtual reality, guest orientation. The future glimmered in his mind like chandelier crystals catching dawn. He pressed a palm to the mezzanine railing, the lobby thrumming beneath, a symphony of suitcases, laughter, multilingual greetings. A hotel, yes, but also a living testimony. Prejudice met resistance, resistance birthed reform, and reform, hope. Jamal smiled. The journey from cuffs to crown had bruised, baffled, and broadened him. But it had also etched an unshakable truth across his heart. Stories can hurt, but they can heal if we dare to rewrite them. He flipped to a fresh page, titled it Chapter 2, and began.